Today's question comes from Priscilla, who asks, how can we communicate to a secular society that gender choice is not healthy for society? Well, here at Family Policy Alliance, we have a vision for a nation where God is honored, religious freedom flourishes, families thrive, and life is cherished. And we firmly believe that addressing issues of our day, like these gender issues that have been coming up over the last few years, is really critical to advancing that vision. So I'm excited to answer this question today. I'm Meridian Baldacci, and this is Ask Meridian. Well, it's a great question, Priscilla, and I want to share three answers for you. But first, I just want to clarify what we mean. Priscilla asked about gender choice and saying that that's not a good thing for society. When she's talking about gender choice, I'm taking that to mean this idea that's going throughout our society that uh, if someone feels they were born in the wrong body and should be the opposite sex, so if I, as a female, felt like I should have been a male, or I should become a male, uh, that is a good thing and something that should be pursued, including potentially physical interventions, as well as social interventions. So it's the transgender movement is what I'm taking that to mean. Well, I think that there are a couple of ways that we can address this with those who are questioning what they think about this issue. The first is biblically, and I realize this may not be everyone for whom this Priscilla is thinking of, and in fact, it may not be the target audience. But I think it's important for us to understand because sometimes people are going to ask us, okay, well, if you believe this as a Christian, where in Scripture are you getting that from? Or maybe other Christians are curious and they're saying, I do believe in the authority of Scripture, and I want to know where I can go to defend this issue. So let me give you a couple of thoughts on that. First off, Genesis 1:27 says that male and female, he created them. God created us male and female, and we firmly believe that that is true, and we can see the evidence of that in his creation. But we also know that he created us fearfully and wonderfully, that God didn't make mistakes when he made me female, or maybe if you're male and you're watching this, he didn't make a mistake in making you male. And when we feel like we were born in the wrong body, that's a real struggle that many people will go through for any number of different reasons. Um, but that doesn't mean that God actually made a mistake. Instead, as Christians, we have the opportunity to walk alongside people for whom that's their struggle, and affirm that no, God didn't make a mistake. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. The Lord was good and sovereign in choosing that for you, and we get to walk alongside people in that. With that said, though, I know that's, again, not the primary audience that Priscilla is probably asking about. She's asking about people who aren't going to care what we say about what Scripture has to say about us. They just want to know, uh, is this good or not, from what we can see in the world? Well, we can tell you that when people choose to pursue transition, when they choose to pursue those feelings, that they are born in the wrong body, that has great harm for people. And so that's the second thing to keep in mind is there's some real medical and psychological harm there that we need to address. Now, I've done a whole separate video about this, so I won't rehash everything that I said there. I actually talked with a medical expert, who shared with us his expertise on all of the medical harms that can befall, especially kids, when they choose to pursue this transition. But let me just share with you a couple of the highlights. First off, when kids pursue transition, which is a series that can involve puberty blockers followed by cross-sex hormones, often followed by different invasive surgeries, that sequence can actually lead to sterilization. So we're talking about sterilizing, especially young kids who are being pushed to consider this. Secondly, we know that there are other long-term health consequences ranging from when you stop puberty, you're stopping a normal, healthy thing. Puberty is not a disease, and so you're stopping this normal, healthy progression, and many of the physical benefits that come alongside of that. And so that in itself can result in a lot of harm. Not to mention that cross-sex hormones um, will often have irreversible effects. So if I, as a woman, started taking male hormones, after a time I might start getting facial hair. Well, that's not going to go away, and unfortunately, many people are going to experience regret uh, down the road, but they won't be able to undo those irreversible changes. Um, but psychologically, we also know that this can be very damaging for people who choose to transition. We know in at least one study, people who chose to transition in the long run had suicide rates that were about 19 times as high as the general population. That's really concerning, 19 times as high. And so if we're really concerned about the well-being of people who are struggling with this, which again is a very real struggle, then we should not be pushing them towards something that can potentially not only not improve their mental health, but potentially make it significantly worse. So we have these real tangible concerns as well. But I don't wanna just leave you there. That I was going really fast. That's a lot of information, and there's so much more that could be said. But it's clear that Priscilla and others of you out there who have reached out to us are fired up about this issue. You want to protect kids in particular. You want to take a stand. You want to take back our culture. I know you're excited about that, and I am too. And that's why I wanna invite you to an event happening on Friday, October 15th. It's the Help Not Harm Summit. It starts at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, so you can figure out what time that is in your time zone. And we will be having a day full of events designed just to equip you with the information and the tools that you need to make a difference, to protect kids, whether that's in your own family. We'll have sessions for parents, sessions for grandparents can join as well if you want to talk to your kids about sex and gender. If you have a family member, especially a child who is struggling with gender dysphoria, we have a session just for you. We'll have sessions for people who want to make a difference in their state or at their local school board level. We actually have a boot camp session where you can come and hear encouraging stories and inspiration from around the country of how people are making a difference in their communities and find out how you can do the same thing. This is going to be a really exciting event. I really hope you'll join me there. I have the link in the caption, so just go click that. Be sure to register. When you register, you'll get access to all of the events. So even if you can only make one session, don't worry. By registering, we'll send you on-demand access to all the sessions once the event is over. Just register. Don't forget to do that today. I hope I'll see you on October 15th. That's all for today. I'll see you on the next episode of Ask Meridian.